Now our motto determine Z, Y, G, H parameters. Z, Y, G, H, H, G parameters. Okay. How to determine? First of all, how can title the title two-port network type problem? First of all, converted two equation. This circuit corresponding to converted two equation in the terms of V1, V2, I1, I2. Okay. There are two equations in the terms of V1, V2, I1, I2, like V1 in the terms of I1, I2, okay, V2 in the terms of V1, I1, okay. After that, convert corresponding to this one, okay. So first of all, how to start? This circuit can also solve with the help of KVL, KCL, or you can say the mesh analysis, loop analysis, or nodal analysis, whatever you feel comfortable, then you apply. Now here 4V3 in this branch, I1 plus 4V3, okay. Now here that is 4V3 I2, so I2 minus 4V3, here I1 plus I2. So what about V3? V3 is equal to 1 into I1 plus I2. Very clear? Okay. Now if apply KVL in this loop, KVL in loop 1, KVL in loop 1, then we got V1, this big V1 plus, what about polarity corresponding to this one? Minus 2 plus minus, plus 2 into I1 plus 2I1 plus V3, this is equal to 0. So V1 this is equal to 2I1 plus 2, that is 4. 4I1 plus V3 means I1 plus I2. So 5I1 plus I2. Okay. Clear or not? If this one is a 2I1 plus 2, that is 4, that is 5. So V1 is equal to 5I1 plus I2. Now apply KVL in this loop 2. Minus V2 plus 1 into I2 minus 4V3 plus V3. V3 means I1 plus I2. Simply write now V3. This is equal to 0. So V2 this is equal to I2 minus 3V3. So V2 this is equal to I2 minus 3 I1 plus I2. Okay. So minus I1 minus 2 I2. V2 this is equal to minus 3 I1 minus 2 I2. Okay. This is the equation number 1. This is the equation number 2. From 1 and 2. Right now here 5, 1, minus 3 and minus 2. And here I1, I2. Okay. Simply you can say that Z parameter is simply Z, like written corresponding to this one, that is 5, 1, minus 3, minus 2. Okay. Now next target is Y. How to determine Y parameter? I know that Y parameter is in the terms of I1 in the terms of V2 and I2 Y21 V1 plus Y22 into V2. So clear? Now how can I solve? I1 in the terms of V1 V2 and I2 in the terms of V1 V2. Okay, this is I2. Now what about I2? From here V1 minus 5I1. If this value put here, then V2 this equal to minus 3I1 minus 2 V1 minus 5I1. So minus 2 V1 minus plus 10 minus 3, that is 7 I1, that is V2. So I1 this will be equal to 2 by 7 V1 plus V2 by 7. Okay, now if this value put here, okay, then what about I2? I2 this will be equal to V1 minus 5 into 2 by 7 V1 plus V2 by 7. Okay, so finally V1 minus 10 by 7 V1 minus 5 by 7 into V2. Okay, now here we got minus 3 by 7 V1 minus 5 by 7 V2. So what about Y parameter? Y parameter is 2 by 7, 1 by 7 and minus 3 by 7 and minus 5 by 7. Clear? That is Y. Z parameter is completed, Y parameter is completed. Now next target is G parameter. How can determine G parameter? I1 this will be equal to G11 into V1 plus G12 into I2. Okay. Now what about V2? V2 in the terms of G21 into V1 plus G22 into I2. Okay. So first of all, I1 in the terms of V1 and I2. I1 in the terms of V1 and I2. Okay. I1 in the terms of V1 and I2. Here I1 this will be equal to V1 by 5, okay, plus minus I2 divided by 5. Very simple. Next target, V2 this will be equal to V1 and I2. From here V2 this will be equal to minus 2 V1 plus 7, our motto corresponding to I2, V1, V2 and I2. So V2, I2 corresponding to here. From this one, our motto determine V2. So 5 by 7 V2 this will be equal to minus 3 by 7 V1 minus I2. Okay, so V2 this will be equal to minus 3 by 5 V1 minus 1 by 5 I2. Okay. Now what about G parameter? G parameter is this is written corresponding to here. G parameter G11 1 by 5, G12 minus 1 by 5, G21 is minus 3 by 5, G22 is minus 1 by 5. Okay, that is G parameter. Similarly, what about H parameter? V1 this will be equal to same procedure, V1 and here I2. Okay, V1 I2, H11 into I1 plus H12 into V2, H21 into I1 plus H22 into V2. Okay, so clear. V1 in the terms of I1 and V2, V1 in the terms of I1 and V2. 2V1 this will be equal to written as minus 7 I1 2V1 this will be equal to plus 7 minus V2. So V1 is written as plus 7 by 2 into I1 minus 1 by 2 into V2. Okay, that is V1 in the terms of I1, V2. Now next target is I2. What about I2 in the terms of I1 and V2? I2 in the terms of I1 and V2. Here I2, if I2 is written as here 1 by 5, okay, 1 by 5. Our motto corresponding to I2 in the terms of I1 from here. I2 is minus 5 I1 plus V1, but our motto corresponding to V2. So follow this one. Minus 2I2, plus 2I2, this be equal to minus 3I1 minus V2. So I2 this be equal to minus 3 by 2 I1 minus 1 by 2 into V2. Okay. So next target is H parameter. H parameter is written as H11. H11 this be equal to 7 by 2. H12 that is minus 1 by 2 minus 3 by 2 and that is minus 1 by 2. This is the final answer. Make it. Our motto determine Z parameters. Okay, how can determine? First of all, make the circuit corresponding to this one. Okay, this is 2 ohm, that is 3 by 2 V2, that is 2 ohm, 2 V1 and that is 2 by 3 ohm. Okay, now if you make another circuit, that is 2 ohm and this one that is 3 by 2 V2, that is current source, this is current source and that is 2 ohm and this one is plus minus 2 V1 and that is 2 by 3 ohm and plus minus V2, I2 current and here I1 and this is V1. Okay, that is I2. Better to this one converted into with the help of source transformation. I know that if this resistance R and current source represent like this one, current I, that is X and Y, then it is converted like plus minus IR and that is R, this X and that is Y. If this one is converted into voltage source, okay, 3 by 2 into 2 that is 3 V2. Okay, if this one is converted, what about polarity? Upper plate plus and lower plate minus, represent like this one and this is 3 V2, that is 3 V2. Very simple. Okay, now here current I1, here current I2. Suppose that is this current is I3. Okay, now apply KVL in this loop. What about current in this branch? I1 minus I3. Here I3 plus I2. Okay. Now apply KVL in this loop. Minus V1 plus 2 I1 minus I3 plus 3 V2. This will be equal to 0. Okay. So V1 is written as 3 V2 plus 2 times I1 minus 2 I3. Equation number 1. Now apply KVL in this loop. V2, this will be equal to 2 by 3 I3 plus I2, or V2 is written as 2 by 3 I2 plus 2 by 3 into I3, equation number 2. Very simple. Now apply KVL in this loop. Polarity corresponding to minus 2 plus minus 3 V2 minus 2 I1 minus I3 plus 2 I3 plus 2 V1, that is V1, plus 2 by 3 I3 plus I2. This will be equal to 0. Okay. Now if V1 and V2 this value also V2, better to, that is V2, and this value also put here corresponding to V1. Very simple. Minus V1 plus 2 I3 plus 2 V1 plus V2. This will be equal to 0. So what about I3? I3 is minus V1 minus V2 by 2. If this value put in equation number 1 and 2, got the result. Okay. So V1 is written as 3 V2 plus 2 V1 2 I1 minus 2 I3. This will be equal to V1 plus V2. So V1 are cancel out, that is 4 V2 plus 2 I1, this will be equal to 0. So V2 is written as minus 1 by 2 I1 plus 0 into I2. Okay, 0 into I2 corresponding. Now next one, our next target, V1 in the terms of I1 I2. If this value put here, then we got V2 this will be equal to 2 by 3 I2 plus we got minus 2 cancel, minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 V1 minus 1 by 3 V2. Okay, V2 this will be equal to, I know that V2 this will be equal to minus 1 by 2 I1. So 1 by 3 V1 this will be equal to 2 by 3 I2. 1 by 3 V1 this will be equal to 2 by 3 I2. Okay. Now if this one here, then minus V2 minus V2 by 3. So 2 by 3 I2 minus 4 by 3 into V2, and V2 is minus half I1. So finally we got minus plus 2 by 3 I1 plus 2 by 3 I2. This will be equal to 1 by 3 V1. So V1 is written as 2V1 2I1 plus 2 I2. Okay, so V1 is written as 2I1 plus 2I2. So what about Z parameter? Z parameter is 2, 2, minus 1 by 2 and 0. That is Z parameter. Okay, make it. What is our motto? Our motto: determine Z, Y and T parameter. Okay, how can determine? First of all, it's very simple. Make, that is, this is I2 current, and that is 2 ohm, 1 ohm, plus minus V1 plus minus V2, and that is I1 current, and here I2 current. Okay, and that is 3 ohm. Okay, clear? And that is V2, I1 plus I2. So it is clear, I1 plus I2 is equal to minus of V2. Okay, and minus 2 plus minus V1 plus 2I1 minus I2 plus V2, this is equal to 0. So V2 this is equal to V1, V2 this is equal to V1 minus 2I1 plus I2. Okay, our motto: determine Z parameter. Z parameter means V1 in the terms of I1 I2 and V2 in the terms of I1 I2. So V1 V2 in the terms of I1 I2 is written minus I1 plus I2, that is equation number 2. And if this value put here, I1 plus I2, this will be equal to V1 minus 2 I1 plus I2. Okay, so V1 this will be equal to, if this one going on here, and that is 0 I2. Okay, clear or not? Very simple. I1 plus I2 is equal to minus V2. So V2, silly mistake here, minus and minus. So V1 this will equal, if going on here, that is minus 2 I2. Okay, so V1 and V2 is written as corresponding to, what about Z parameter? 1, minus 2, minus 1 and minus 1. Very simple. Clear? What about Z parameter? Very simple. Compare, because of I naught V1 this will equal to Z11 into I1 plus Z12 into I2, and V2 this will equal to Z21 into I1 plus Z22 into I2. Clear? So Z parameter clear. Now next target is Y parameter. Y parameter means I1 in the terms of written corresponding to V1, V2 and I2 21, Y22 into V2. Okay, so I1 in the terms of V1, V2 and V2 in the I1 into I2 is the terms of V1, V2. Clear? From this equation or this equation, check here, V2, V1. V2 this is equal to V1 minus 2 I1 plus, what about I2? from here I2 this will be equal to minus V2 minus I1. If this value put here, then we got minus V2 minus I1. Okay, so if this one that is minus 3I1, if 3I1 corresponding to here, then V1 minus 2V2. So I1 is written as 1 by 3 V1 minus 2 by 3 V2. Okay, I1 is 1 by 3 V1 and minus I2 by 3 V2. After that, if this value put here, okay, our next target is in the terms of I2, in the terms of I2 this is equal to I2 is written as minus V2 minus I1, minus V2 minus I1 is 1 by 3 V1 plus 2 by 3 V2, that is minus 1 by 3 V2 minus 1 by 3 V1. This is I2. Okay, so next target is y is written as y parameter, that is 1 by 3 minus 2 by 3 and minus 1 by 3 and minus 1 by 3. Very simple, written here. Okay, that is y parameter. Our next target is ABCD t parameter. T parameter means V1 this equal to A into V2 minus B into I2. Okay, and V1 and V1 in the terms of, and I1 is written as C into V2 minus D into I2. Clear? So from V1 this equal to V2 in the terms of V2 and I2. V1 is written as V1 1 by 3 V1 is equal to minus 1 by 3 V2 minus I2. Okay, so V1 is written as minus V2 plus minus 3 I2. Okay, V1 in the terms of corresponding to here. Now V1, it is clear, V1 1 by 3 V1, so V1 corresponding to V1 one second, V1 by 3 V1 this is equal to V1 I2 this is equal to like this one. Okay, so if V1 is here and okay, clear, so 1 by 3 V1, so V1 this is equal to V2 minus 3 I2. Clear? Now next target I1 in the terms of V2 I2. Same here, I1 this equal V1 I1 I2 and V2, I1 I2 and V2, I1 I2 and V2. So what about I1 here, corresponding to this I1 this equal to minus V2 minus I2. Okay, so what about ABCD parameter? ABCD parameter is A is 1 minus 1. What about minus B? That is 3. Okay, and what about C? That is minus 1. And what about D? Minus D, that is 1. So ABCD parameter like this one, make it. our motto, determine y parameter. Okay, so how can determine? First of all, I1 is given, I2 is given, and this current is 0.1 V2. So first of all, make another circuit. That is 0.1 V2, and that is plus minus 0.2 V2. Okay, this question is solved with the help of two methods. With the help of nodal analysis or very simple KVL KCL. KVL I1, that is 2 ohm, I1 here, I1 plus 0.1 V2, and that is I2. So here I1 plus I2 plus 0.1 V2. Okay, now clear? So V2 this equal to, written as V2 this equal to 2 into I1 plus I2 plus 0.1 V2. So V2 is written 2V1 plus 2V2 plus 0.2 V2. Okay, now if 1 minus 0.2 means 0.8, that is 0.8 V2 this equal to 2V1 plus 2I1 plus 2I2. So V2 this equal to 2I1 divided by 0.8 and 2 divided by 0.8, that is I2. Okay, now so our motto in the terms of Y1 Y2, I1 I2 in the terms of V1 V2. Okay, so if divided by 2, then we got, that is 0.4 V2 this equal to I1 plus I2. That is equation number 1. That is equation number 1. Now apply KVL in this loop. Okay, apply KVL in this loop. First corresponding to this one, plus minus. So we got like this one. Okay, minus V2, or you can say the V2 this equal to 2 into I1 plus I2 into 0.1 V2. Okay, now apply super loop, minus to plus and plus minus, minus V1 plus 2I1 plus 0.2 V2 plus V2 this equal to 0. So 2I1 is written as 2I1 this equal to V1 minus 1.2 V2. So I1 is 1 by 2 V1 minus 0.6 V2 or 0.5 V1 minus 0.6 V2, that is I1. Okay, I1 this equal to, in the terms of, clear or not, V1 minus 2I1 plus 0.2 V2 plus V2. So V2 plus V2, that is 1.2 V2. Okay, and V1 this equal to 1 by 2 0.5 and that is 0.6 V2. Okay, now another way, if this value put here, then we got 0.4 V2 this is equal to 0.5 V1 minus 0.6 V2 plus I2. So I2 this equal to, if this one minus 0.5 V1. Okay, and if this corresponding to here, that is 0, that is 1 V2. Okay, so what about, that is equation number 1 and that is equation number 2. Our motto, y parameter. So y parameter is, first one 0.5 and that is 0.6 and that is minus 0.5 and that is 1. that is y parameter, make it